So when Jesus comes in, we are going to throw flowers and pop little bubbles. We're going to roll out the red carpet. We're going sitting at his feet when the hummus needs to be made. Not on the schedule. Mary, did you guys go to the camel farm and get the camel hair bags? We need like 3 of them for the carpet. We have to make the carpet. Okay guys, don't forget, we want Jesus in the center, and we're gonna sit the disciples in alphabetical order, except Judas. He can sit by the exit. And I asked Mary to fold the napkins into little doves. Instead, she just rolled it around the utensils. She doesn't care. She's not a Christian. Mary, my back hurts from carrying the load of this house. Yeah. What do you mean you got Aldi cupcakes instead of making it from scratch? We have to make everything from scratch. Like, this is the Messiah we're talking about. And she had the nerve to go to Aldi. You don't need permission to slow down, because according to his word, he already invites you to. The invite's there. You just have to take it and choose the better part. So sis, if slowing down feels like it's impossible for you, or you feel like you're failing, this is for you. It's time to revisit this area of Martha and Mary. Now listen, my homegirl Martha, she was awesome. She has such a servant's heart. I get it. I am Martha. I was Martha. I am Martha. She wasn't rebuked, but the Lord did acknowledge her need to reprioritize. So if you feel guilty for sitting instead of doing, if rest feels almost impossible for you, and if your worship is getting replaced with worldly things only, even though all things could be worship unto the Lord, what is our heart posture? What is our heart posture behind that? And you're not alone. Listen, Martha loved Jesus. She loved him so much. I'm sure she wanted the best for him. I'm sure she was folding napkins like little doves or little fish or something cute. She loved him so much. But Mary had the wisdom to know what the better part was in that moment. I imagine Martha rolling out a red carpet before Jesus and throwing flower petals, and then the birds were flying around and this and that. But the Lord didn't require that. He just wanted her to choose him over everything in that moment. Because when Abba speaks, when Jesus speaks, we got to drop everything in here. We got to hear, we got to eat. We got to be fed. We got to drink that living water that only he provides. And Jesus told her in Luke, Martha, Martha, you are worried about many things, but only one thing is necessary. And Mary, your sister, who probably lives in the house with you and, sees what you got to do, and, and this is not scripture, I'm just elaborating. She chose the better part. She chose the better part, which was him. And it won't be taken away from her. She knew the hummus didn't matter. The fish didn't matter. The little napkins didn't matter. Only the voice of God mattered. And everyone in that room was going to be filled with that. That doesn't mean you can't serve with all your heart, but it's knowing what to prioritize and when. He invited her. He invited her to sit at his feet like Mary did. He didn't rebuke her, but he just invited her to even reprioritize. And Mary, she wasn't lazy. She wasn't disobedient. She wasn't a rebel or anything like that. And Mary probably wasn't lazy. She probably wasn't trying to be rude or desensitive or whatever the case, but she knew who was in the room. She saw him, and she seized the moment by sitting at his feet and just eating and just observing him. And I'm sure that she knew that Jesus loved her, even though she wasn't making those little napkins into doves. She sat at his feet saying, here I am, Lord. I acknowledge you that you're before me, that you're the King, that you're the Messiah we've been waiting for. And you're my everything right now. This is more important than anything. More important than pita chips. More important than lentils. You are so important right now. You are important right now. You are my focus. We won't always have you. She wasn't passive. She knew that in that moment, productivity wasn't worth more than the King, the Messiah they were waiting for. She knew she didn't have to hold it all together because he was there. He was her everything. She knew she just wanted Jesus and she only needed Jesus. She sat without guilt. She was confident. I'm sure she was looking at her sister run around frantically, but she didn't even notice that probably. She didn't even care. She sat without apologizing. I don't know if she apologized or not, but homegirl sat. She was not going to apologize for acknowledging the King. I know sometimes as women, working women, stay-at-home moms, whatever season you're in, we may have learned how to manage it all. We may have learned how to get through the day and taking care of the million of responsibilities we have. But Jesus never asked us to do that. He never asked us for that. Although it's great to steward your time, your schedule, everything well, that's not more important than learning when to sit at his feet and also casting those things onto him. And I know from experience that if we feel like if we don't do one thing that we're supposed to do that day, the world is going to fall apart and we're just going to be in chaos. And that's not true. Let's pick 3 things, our 3 most important goals. And let's get that done. Is today a day where you have to get all the laundry done? Write that down. On Tuesday, I will get the laundry done. And then 2 and 3. But we always have to make room for Jesus. Intentional time. And yes, we invite him into everything, of course. But there are certain times we're going to have to hear and see when he's in the room asking us to drop everything and just sit at his feet. And if we're honest, I know it's like, well, the Messiah's in the room. Why didn't Martha just say, who cares? Messiah was in the room. Well, the Messiah's in the room with us all the time. He's with us all the time. We're not orphans. We love the Lord. We want to honor him. I know we love him. But somewhere along the way, we confuse being productive and being great moms and being great wives and being great whatever. We confuse that with intimacy. I love doing the laundry with Jesus. I'll worship him. I'll talk to him. And it's great. But there are times where he's calling my name and it's so hard. I'm like, God, but if I don't do this right now, I'm going to be backed up. It'll get done when it gets done. Us sitting down spiritually and physically is not weakness. We're not slacking. We're not being bad stewards. We're choosing the better part. And today's sermon was actually about that. It's just rest. Sometimes we need to rest. And sometimes resting is dropping everything. Using wisdom, of course. And just being with him. It is an act of trust. It's us saying, God, I trust you right now. That being with you is better than heaven. All the laundry done. All the work done. All the schedules done. He'll meet us right there too. He'll give us the grace, supernatural grace, to finish these things in the right time. And some of us, we're pouring from empty cups. We're serving our home, but we're not being filled. Our souls are exhausted. If you're like me, I'll be like, okay, when the kids take a nap, I'll be with God. When the kids do this, I'll be with God. We have to righteously, violently take time, make time by force. That's where using wisdom comes. Make a schedule. Have your top 3 goals. Because the truth is, these moments rarely come. They rarely come. And sometimes I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not living in sin. I'm not actively living in sin. I'm not willingly living in sin. I'm not, out at so-and-so sinning. But if the devil can't make us sin, or we don't fall for temptations, the enemy will keep us busy, distracted, to a point where we can't even see that we're so busy doing things for God, that we're not doing them with him, or that we're not intentionally making time set apart for him. And I love how Jesus told Martha, he's so sweet, he's so compassionate, that he gently corrected her and was like, only one thing matters. Girl, I love the pita, I love the hummus, but only one thing matters, and that's you sitting at my feet. And Mary recognized it, and I won't take it away from her. I'd be so angry. I imagine my sister sitting at his feet while I'm taking care of everything, and then telling Jesus, and then he's like, well, I'm not going to take that away from her, but I'm going to invite you. I would be so angry. He's not impressed by our hustle. He's not. He's not impressed by our titles. He gave them to us. He allowed us. He graced us for it. He's not impressed by it, but we can offer him worship. He wants to see how much we trust him with. We seek the kingdom first, and all these things follow. Sometimes you're going to have to say no to the phone call and no to the meeting. The world won't understand, but he does. And he loves it. He delights in it. And it's not glamorous. Choosing the better portion is not glamorous, especially when the piles of laundry pile up and you're like, okay, I'll have more mental space to receive if I could just do the laundry. And it's like, no, the better part is not glamorous. The better part is not aesthetically pleasing. It's not always aesthetically, but it's precious and it's holy and it's a sacrifice. Jesus told Mary, it won't be taken from her. So he'll never take that away from us. We'll eat and enjoy it. So to the women who don't know how to sit still, you're not failing because you want to rest with him. You're not lazy when you want to listen. You're not a bad wife. You're not a bad mother. You're not a bad disciple. You're not a bad daughter. You are not falling behind when you're sitting still. You don't need permission to slow down, because according to his word, he already invites you to. The invite's there. You just have to take it and choose the better part. Are you going to say yes to the invitation? In a world that glorifies being busy and hustling, while these things could be great, Jesus will always tell you to pick the better part. Sitting at his feet to the world is rebellion, and it makes no sense. Culture wants you to find your worth and always do and always being busy. But Jesus says at the cross, there's your worth. He says, you are already mine. You don't need to earn anything. You don't need to impress me. He invites us to know him, and we sit at his feet to know him. And that's what our soul craves, because it belongs to him. You're already his. He loves you, and he proved it at the cross. It was finished right there. So please don't just hear my message and be like, okay, great, I'm going to do that. Respond to it. Respond to it starting tonight, today, whenever I drop this bad boy. And let me know what you're dropping. Or you don't have to let me know, but I want to know. So you let me know. No, I'll let you know. No, you let me know. What I'm going to drop is the folding of the laundry. No, I actually never do that. I'm not thinking about the burnt bread. I'm not thinking about the burnt bread. I don't care about the burnt bread. I don't care about the burnt bread. He is the bread. I don't care about the burnt bread. Next time, we're just gonna DoorDash. Yeah, we're gonna DoorDash.